Our group will be answering the question if food additives cause cancer. Our team's position is for this, so we believe that food additives do cause cancer. Food additives are used to enhance food flavor, texture, and color, and are also used to extend shelf life. More than 2,500 chemical substances are intentionally added to foods, and in addition to this, around 12,000 substances are unintentionally entered into the food supply. Examples of unintentionally entered food includes growth hormones and antibiotics used in animal farming, the small amount of pesticides and herbicides in plant-based foods, and compounds that enter the food from packaging. This unintended contamination of food may cause exposure to chemicals that are related to cancer and put individuals at higher risk. Overall, there is no requirement to perform tests to determine carcinogenicity for most substances added to food. Now we will look at some specific examples of additives. Artificial coloring. In the 1970s, the FDA banned red dye number 2. Studies found that large doses were causing cancer in rats. Other artificial colorings include the caramel color 3 and 5, which are contaminated with 4-MEI. 4-MEI has shown to cause tumors in a National Toxicological Program study conducted in 2004. Aspartame. Aspartame is an artificial sweetener found in brands such as Equal and NutraSweet. A 1996 study argued that an increased rate in brain tumors in the United States could be related to consumption of this product. Additionally, in 2005, another study was conducted that suggested that aspartame could cause leukemia and lymphoma in rats. Sodium benzoate. Sodium benzoate in soft drinks has shown to react with added vitamin C to make benzene, a cancer-causing substance that deprives human cells of oxygen, breaking down the immune system and fueling cancerous cells. Sodium nitrate. Studies have provided evidence that sodium nitrate could be to blame for gastric cancers that people have had in the past. Until the early 1930s, gastric cancer caused the most deaths out of all the cancers in the United States. When Americans began to use modern refrigerators and eat less cured meats and producers started to use less sodium nitrate in the curing process, deaths from gastric cancer fell. Nitrate-treated meats have nitrites, which can form from nitrates. Nitrates react with naturally occurring protein amines, forming nitrosamines, which are known cancer-causing compounds. As well, studies have linked nitrites to stomach cancer. It is suggested that the risk of cancer in the esophagus is increased in people who eat cured meats often. There is also evidence that nitrites may be associated with brain and thyroid cancers. In 2010, the World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer declared that nitrates and nitrites are most likely human carcinogens.
Potassium bromate is banned in many countries including the European Union, Brazil, Canada, and even China. Potassium bromate is used as a powerful oxidizing agent in baking since it bleaches and improves the elasticity of dough. Potassium bromate is commonly used in commercial baking to make baking process faster and cheaper, and end product becomes much more soft, unnaturally white, and fluffy. Potassium bromate is linked to kidney problems, neurologic disorders, and cancer. Artificial food coloring and dyes are other food additives that are banned in many countries, including Norway, France, Austria, UK, and Finland. However, practically anything that comes inside of a package in America, ranging from candies, cheese, cereals to sports drinks, or cakes, have artificial dyes in them. Artificial dyes are made from chemicals that are driven from petroleum and are linked to neurological problems, brain cancer, ADD, ADHD, and hyperactive activity in children.
Congress prohibited the introduction of adulterated or misbranded food and drugs into interstate commerce, meaning that any food containing a food additive that is known to cause illnesses like cancer cannot be put into a food without it being deemed adulterated. And that's under the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act of 1968. Under that act, there's also a Delaney Clause, which prohibits the approval of an additive if it is found to induce cancer when ingested by people or animals, and meaning no substance in any amount should be intentionally added to any food if it has been shown to cause cancer. There are tests to determine if food additives cause cancer or not, but the tests aren't to the point yet where experts totally accept their reliability. So that's a problem with the Delaney clause. If the Delaney clause were to be deleted, a cancer-causing additive could be added to foods, and consumers would be able to buy that food legally. There would be a reasonable certainty that harm would be caused from this use.
When it comes to processed foods, I don't have too much of an opinion on them because I don't rely on processed foods a whole lot, except when it comes to granola, protein bars, and sugar substitutes. Sugar substitutes are probably my strongest one to break because I use them all the time in my coffee. I drink way too much coffee, probably more than is ever healthy for anybody in their lives. And I use artificial sugar because there's no calories in it. And I do hear the warnings about how even possibly stevia may be bad for us. I mean, it's hard not to be skeptical, but at the same time, even having the word cancer just implanted in your head is just one of those things that makes me just a little bit uncomfortable eating that stuff, but I still do it. And why? Because I am willing to make that concession like a lot of people are. Whether it be for taste or convenience, it's odd, but it is what we do.
However, a lot of people today overconsume additives. They put too much sugar, too much salt in their food, and it becomes unhealthy. On top of this, a lot of people add stuff like MSG and other chemicals that just aren't necessary and can be very detrimental to your health. In the past, many people used additives in order to preserve things like meats and other vegetables in order to get throughout the winter, which was okay in small doses, but today a lot of people use additives that are chemically treated and just horrible for people and can cause cancers and other allergies. Is it really worth the chance of being able to preserve food for longer if it causes other cancers like this? You can naturally derive the flavors of an apple, but many producers choose not to because it's more cost effective or it's easier for them to access artificially flavored things, and unfortunately many producers choose to artificially create them. Apple candy does not taste the same as apple from a tree. Do you think that it's really worth putting your own health at risk in order to have food preserved for longer or to have more enhanced flavor for a few moments?
As shown with the data provided, these food additives are causing or have the possibility of causing cancer and other health impairments. Food additives should be dramatically reduced and/or banned as a precaution to protect our overall health.